These days, you see headlines everywhere. BRICS countries are moving away from the dollar. China and Russia are launching new currencies. Saudi Arabia might stop selling oil in dollars. And along with that, one big question: death of the dollar. Does this mean the US dollar's global monopoly is coming to an end? And if the dollar falls, how will your pocket, your bank balance, your FD, your salary, everything change? Today, let's understand what this race is really about, who is competing, and why it matters to you. This is not a theory. This is happening right now, in front of our eyes. And its impact will fall on every person who uses money. So let's begin. First, let's understand what the dollar really is and how it became king. Let's go back to 1944. The world was coming out of World War II. Europe was destroyed. Japan was destroyed. America stood strong. That's when the Bretton Woods Agreement happened. 44 countries agreed, let's make the dollar the world's reserve currency. Why? Because the US had 75% of the world's gold. The US had the strongest army. The US had the largest economy. And one more thing: trust. People believed that America would never default. Then came 1971. The Nixon shock. America said, the dollar will no longer be linked to gold. The dollar became a fiat currency, meaning its value exists only because people believe it does. People panicked. But what happened? The dollar was already so deep-rooted that no other option remained. Then came the Petrodollar system. America made a deal with Saudi Arabia: you sell oil only in dollars, and in return, you get American weapons and protection. Saudi agreed. And then all OPEC countries followed. And look at today. 60% of the world's foreign reserves are in dollars. 80% of international trade happens in dollars. 80 to 90% of oil trade happens in dollars. Every country needs dollars. China needs them. India needs them. Russia needs them. Because without dollars, you cannot buy oil. In simple words, the dollar is the world's petrol. It is the oxygen of the global economy. Now the question: if it's so powerful, why are people talking about its death? 3 big reasons. And these reasons are getting stronger every year. Reason number 1, US debt. Today, America's debt is over $34 trillion. Let me say that again, $34 trillion. So much that if you spend $1 every second, it would take 10,000 years to finish. Every year, America takes new loans just to pay the interest on its old loans. It's a never-ending cycle. People are afraid, someday, the dollar will lose its value. Like Zimbabwe's dollar collapsed. Like Argentina's peso collapsed. It could happen to the dollar too. Reason number 2, weaponization of the dollar. During the Russia-Ukraine war, America froze $300 billion of Russia's reserves. One button pressed, and Russia's $300 billion got locked. The biggest lesson the world learned: if your money is in dollars, it is a hostage in America's hands. China is thinking, I have $1 trillion with America. If there's a conflict over Taiwan, will America freeze my money? India is thinking, we are buying oil from Russia. Could America target us too? Saudi, UAE, Brazil, South Africa, all are thinking, when will our turn come? That's why everyone is looking for alternatives. Reason number 3, BRICS and de-dollarization. China, Russia, India, Brazil, South Africa, these BRICS countries are building an alternate system. What are they building? China is promoting the yuan. There is talk of a common BRICS currency. There is talk of a gold-backed digital currency. And it's not just BRICS. ASEAN countries are doing local currency settlements. GCC countries are also talking about moving away from the dollar. This is not one country's decision. This is a movement. Now the question, what will replace the dollar? Who is in this race? Let's understand one by one. Candidate number 1, Chinese Yuan. The pros: China is the second largest economy. China is the world's largest trader. Every country does business with China. The cons: China controls everything. The yuan is not freely convertible. You can take as many yuan as you want inside China, but you cannot take them out freely. And there is a trust issue. Is China better than America? Will China not freeze your money? There is no guarantee. Bottom line, the yuan is not better than the dollar. It's just different. Candidate number 2, gold-backed currency. Some countries are saying, link your currency to gold. Russia has started buying gold. China is buying gold. India is buying gold. What's the problem? No one has that much gold. The total value of all the gold in the world is about $12 trillion. The dollar's liquidity is 10 times more than that. And gold is not flexible. When the economy grows, you need to increase the currency supply. You cannot do that with gold. Candidate number 3, IMF's SDR, or special drawing rights. This is an artificial currency. It is a basket of 5 currencies: dollar, euro, yuan, yen, pound. The problem is that ordinary people cannot use it. Only central banks can. You cannot buy oil with SDR. You cannot buy a mobile phone with SDR. Candidate number 4, digital currency. CBDC, or central bank digital currency. China's digital yuan is already running. India's digital rupee is coming. What about Bitcoin? It is volatile. It is slow. It has regulation problems. 60,000 today, 20,000 tomorrow. Who will keep their reserves in Bitcoin? Candidate number 5, and the most realistic one, a multi-currency system. There will be no single dollar killer. 2 or 3 currencies, gold, SDR, digital assets, all will work together. This is the most likely scenario. Just like you have cash, card, and UPI in your wallet, multiple options. Similarly, the world will have multiple reserve currency options. Now the most important question. Will the dollar really die? Short answer, no, not anytime soon. Not in the next 10 to 15 years. Long answer, the dollar can become weaker. The dollar's importance can decrease. But the dollar cannot die. At least not that quickly. Why? Because no alternative currency has 3 things that the dollar has. First, liquidity. No matter how much money the world needs, dollars are available. No other currency is as liquid as the dollar. Not the yuan. Not the euro. Not gold. Second, trust. There is trust in America's legal system. Trust in America's military. Trust in America's institutions. Even if you hate America, your money still feels safer in America. Third, network effect. The dollar's ecosystem is 80 years old. Every bank, every company, every country is comfortable with dollars. Building a new ecosystem takes time. Not 5 years, not 10 years, 20 to 30 years. Look at history. It took 50 years to kill the pound sterling. The dollar's death will not be instant either. So what will happen? The dollar's share will gradually decrease. From 60% to maybe 40 or 45%. But even in second or third place, the dollar will remain. The new system will be dollar, euro, yuan, gold, and digital assets all working together. No single king. A parliament of currencies. You might be thinking, this is all about foreign currencies. Why does it matter to me? My friend, it matters. It matters a lot. 3 things in your life will change. First, the price of petrol, gold, and imported items. India imports 85% of its oil. If the dollar becomes weak, the dollar's value goes down. Then India's imports, like oil, electronics, machinery, become cheaper. Petrol becomes cheaper, so your travel costs go down. Everything becomes a little cheaper. And if the dollar falls, gold goes up. Because there is a simple formula, dollar weak, gold strong. Gold strong, dollar weak. Second, jobs and business. India's IT industry depends on the dollar. When the dollar is strong, IT companies get more rupees. When the dollar is weak, they get less. The pharma industry also exports. Gems and jewelry also export. A weak dollar means losses for export industries. But those who import, like Apple, luxury cars, machinery, they benefit. Their products become cheaper. Third, your personal savings. NRIs send dollars home. If the dollar is weak, their money becomes less in rupee terms. Foreign travel becomes cheaper. Going to London, New York, Dubai, all cheaper. Foreign education becomes a little less expensive. If your child studies in America, their fees could come down. If you have invested in gold, you might make a profit. If you have invested in international mutual funds, you might also benefit. Bottom line, the death of the dollar will not make the world safer. It will make the world different. New opportunities will come. New risks will come. So, will the dollar die? The world now sees the dollar as a tyrant. Someone who controls everyone. Someone who can punish anyone. That's why the world is looking for a replacement. But creating a replacement is as difficult as uprooting a 100-year-old banyan tree. Remember this line, the dollar is not dying. Its monopoly is dying. The world is moving toward a multi-currency system, where there is no single king. A parliament of currencies. Your action item, start adding a little gold or international equity to your portfolio. Keep your information updated. Keep an eye on the news. But don't panic. The dollar is still alive. And it will remain alive for the next several years. Thank you for waiting. If you liked this video, please like, share, and post your questions in the comments. Thank you.